Quick question, have you made the mistake of accepting dysfunction because of unchecked demonic influences? Give me a moment of your time. So in Mark 16, we read about Jesus' word to the disciples just before he left the earth. And so after the instruction to preach the gospel, we see Jesus give the disciples an important sign of what true belief in the gospel really looks like. And he said this, "And these signs will accompany those who believe. In my name, they will drive out demons. They will speak in new tongues. They will pick up snakes. If they should drink anything deadly, it will not harm them. They will lay hands on the sick and they will get well." So hold up. If we really believe the gospel, then according to Jesus, we'll drive out demons. So let's get into that a little. Now, when we hear drive out demons, we normally picture like an exorcist with head spinning, loud shouting, and all kinds of madness. And maybe that might be what it looks like in some cases, but it can also be a lot more subtle. For example, in Matthew 9, we learn about a man who is described as demon possessed and unable to speak. But put yourself in the shoes of a bystander for a moment. Imagine this was one of your neighbors, someone you've seen regularly firsthand. And even though we see the outward issue of them not being able to speak, we might just call it a disability. But really, the scriptures show us that under the outward manifestation that we can see is an invisible root cause, demonic activity. So what can we learn from that? Well, not all demonic activity comes with huge blinkers and loud warning signs. In fact, when you think about it, if the scriptures tell us that Satan disguises himself as an angel of light, then should we be surprised when his influence in individual lives can also be disguised as something normal and non-spiritual, something we should just accept as the norm? You know what I'm talking about. Those things you've accepted as just part of who you are. Those things that you're not sure you'll ever make it through. Those things that you don't see changing in this life. That battle with fear, depression, and anxiety. The addiction to food or even pornography. The fear to speak with boldness when it comes to those meetings at work or even in the church. Look, the examples are endless. And to be honest with you, more than examples, I really want to help give you more insight so that you can spot what it might look like in either your life or the lives of those around you. So here's the transition. Going back to the words of Jesus we started out on, if we believe the gospel, then driving out demons should be normal and expected. But what does that look like? Well, the root word translated as demons in the original verses we started with can also be defined as an evil spirit. But let's break that down a little bit more. Evil is anything that's not good, anything that falls short of God's original design and intent for us. And a spirit isn't necessarily a ghost that just jumps from person to person. More simply put, it's something that's not visible to our naked eyes, but that still has an influence on our actions or our inactions. So putting that all together, whenever we see an outward dysfunction that somehow falls short of God's original design for us, it could be, not always will be, but it could be that there's demonic activity involved that we need to drive out. So how do we do that? Well, I'll be covering one way in the next video. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. Have you made the mistake of accepting dysfunction because of unchecked demonic influences? Peace.